Good evening everybody, Simon here, Explosive Action, and I'm back with another update. We got a couple of tapes and a pile of records here, so let's get through them. In the background we are listening to the first of the tapes. This is Rotten Flesh. This is their demo / album called Morgue of Souls, and this came out on Drowned Productions back in about 91 or so. 91. Spanish death metal, good chunky sound to it. It gets pretty blasty as well. It loses its mind quite a few times and just like nearly falls off the wagon, but really good stuff. I'm really enjoying this one, Rotten Flesh. It's only on this tape. I don't think it got reissued on CD or LP or anything like that, so yeah, definitely keep an eye out for it, hunt it down. The other one, this is the other tape from Drowned that I picked up. This is Choco Crispus, I think is how you're supposed to say it. Choco Crispus. Sounds like chocolate crispies, but anyway, it's probably bad of me to say. Yeah, anyway, this is Poetry of Chaos, another Spanish band on Drowned, and playing a similar style to Rotten Flesh, but a bit more grindy, a bit faster. It's got one track at least that's got some punk kind of hardcore going on. It's a bit of a kind of an amateurish feeling thing, but it is fun. And again, another one that I think just did this tape, no CD, and just, yeah, that's it. That's what you got from them. So very cool. I'm enjoying picking up these Drowned tapes. They've all got a bit of a aesthetic to them as well, which is nice. This part of Rotten Flesh right now, keyboard sounds full Emperor with death metal growls. It's just crazy. Anyway, onto the records. This one is Ancestral Shadows, and it is the Woven Mysteries of Ancient Lore album. This thing is absolutely fantastic. US black metal. Take the little OB strip off, the OBI strip. I love the purple cover. Love the sort of hand-drawn painting there. So the thing looks awesome. How does it sound? This sounds like a mix, a solid mix of the first 3 Satyricon albums. I reckon that's the best description for this. When it gets fast and like really brutal trem picking, it sounds like Nemesis Divina. When it's a bit more pagan, medieval, it sounds like the first 2. It's just a great mix of early Satyricon, a little bit of early Emperor, and yeah, with that bit of pagan sound in there. It doesn't dominate, but it's very bombastic at moments. So yeah, really good, really melodic. This one came on nice purple vinyl. This was quite an adventure to get. I ordered this in November last year, I think. Rings a bell, about November last year. And it's a split release from Go to RX and Death Hymns, but Go to RX didn't have any copies of it themselves. Not sure why. It seemed the only place you could get it was Darker Than Black, and they got copies. It took them a long time. And then COVID happened and I couldn't get anything from Germany. So they held on to this for me for quite some time. And yeah, it's just a great release. You get a poster and what else do you get? A lyric sheet, I think it is. Yeah, it doesn't want to come out. Lyric sheet. It's got some cool imagery there. Excellent album. Pretty sure it's going to feature on my top of the year releases. So there you go. That's Ancestral Shadows with Woven Mysteries of Ancient Lore. Excellent stuff. This one, Otho Intran with, I'm going to try and say it, Lif Kosh Hergest. I've shown the cassette of this, which I got only about a month ago. And in fact I ordered this LP again around November last year from Darker Than Black. This is one of their ones, that actually their own pressing, and well, there was the COVID problem in the middle, but I don't know. The pre-order for this went for a long time. I think there might have been pressing plant issues or something, but I'm very, very happy to finally get it. If you recall what I spoke about with the tape, this is just some of the most melodic. I don't want to say melodic black metal and then make you think of, Cradle of Filth or something. It's black metal that happens to be melodic. It's really, really riff-tastic stuff. Likely also to go into the top end of the year list. The title is in Welsh and refers, at least, I don't know if they intended it, they probably did, but the name is also the name given to a book of 13th century poetry. Perhaps the lyrics are about that, I'm not really too sure. Very well could be. Some of the song titles here, Lady of the Fountain, maybe they are. Who knows? I didn't really look into it. What I do know is that this is just chock full of awesome black metal riffs, and definitely get a copy on whatever format you can. Not sure how easy it is to get the LP. The pre-order went for so long. They probably all claimed. There's definitely some tapes on Discogs, so off a Windtrain, definitely pick it up. This is another one with a sore tale of COVID, and I'm super, super stoked to finally get it. This is the split between War Moon Lord and, I don't remember actually how you say the name of them, Volturion, I think. I got it for the War Moon Lord side, but these guys, Volturion, I hope I'm saying it right, I'm no slouch either. So War Moon Lord did one of my top favourite albums of last year, Finnish black metal, playing in the just straight ahead Finnish black metal style. It's exactly what I wanted from a band called War Moon Lord from Finland, and they deliver again on this. I think the material is even stronger. It's just better overall black metal. The use of keys is more refined. Volturion, I think this is their first release of any kind. Similar, because they're also Finnish, similar style to War Moon Lord, but definitely more raw. But saying that, there's a track, I think it's Journey Through Razor Winds, that sounds like it could fit onto In the Nightside Eclipse. Really, really good stuff. This is the White Bone edition. Not that exciting to pull out, but there you go, it's the white edition. Not too sure how copies are of this anymore. I think the white's gone, there might be black, there might be nothing, I'm not too sure. Hopefully there'll be some release that you can get, because I highly recommend it. War Moon Lord and Volturion, I think it actually has a name for the release, and I don't know, you try and work that out. Germanic font, pure something, who knows, no idea. I should have actually read that before, but this came out on Wolf Spell Records and is mandatory stuff, so try your best to get it. Next one, another Paysage de Verre. I'm really digging into these guys. This is like my fourth pickup from them in 2 months. This is Das Tor, 2013 release, I think. This one's in a gatefold. Yeah, all of their stuff, at least this series of reissues, has obviously a similar style. They've got the main picture and then this sort of wood grain grey. It's very easy to get confused with the albums, but this one is 2LP, and it's not much to show, but it's the same kind of design in there. 2LP, 1 track per side, because each track is like 17, 18, 20 minutes long, and it's just more of the same. Awesome atmospheric black metal from Paysage de Verre. I've spoken about them a few times now. It's Winther, who is the also a member of Dark Space, and it's a similar style to Dark Space. They're all about space. This is about a journey through the snow. From what I understand, it actually really is. It is all the albums put together just describe this long journey that somebody is taking through the snow. So there you go, Paysage de Verre, Das Tor. Recommended just like any of their albums. It probably stands out to me a little less than the Isa album from 2003. That one had some interesting sort of electronic and keyboard stuff that was just thrown in there that made it stand out a bit more. I don't think this one had that kind of sound to it. but it's just solid all up. It's more like Involved, their new album. So yeah, there you go. More Paysage de Ver, Dust Tour. And this one, this is awesome. This is the Mortal Wound, Forms of Unreasoning Fear reissue by Maggot Stomp and MSUO. Five tracks of superb death metal, probably some of the best stuff on Maggot Stomp. I've got the tape. I got the tape a good year ago, and I play that quite a lot. But I could not say no to the reissue of the LP. It is, yeah, it's nothing too exciting in here. Just the black vinyl Maggot Stomp. But man, these guys are the most exciting death metal bands on Maggot Stomp. That's just the tape changing sides, clicking in the background there. Yeah, I don't know really much more to say about it. They're good, similar sound to something like Brutality, I think. Yeah, that's Forms of Unreasoning Fear. Top quality stuff, and highly recommended. Getting on to the old school classics this time. We've got Virus with their second album. Which one was this called? Force Recon? Yeah, Force Recon. This one cost me very, very little. Seems to be not highly thought of. This is the Combat issue from, there you go, Combat issue from, I think it's 89. Let's just go with 89, I think it's around about then. What do you get here? You get, it's clearly second tier thrash metal. It's fun, it's mid to fast pace, it's a British band, and yeah, the drummer's a bit sloppy at times. I find it kind of endearing, but he's not the world's best drummer. So, it's not mandatory stuff, but I do enjoy it. And funnily enough, no CD issue. This was released on a whole bunch of LP reissues, I think Cassette. This has never had a CD, which is pretty unusual, really. Most thrash bands of the 80s have had a CD release since, and yeah, this one, Virus, Force Recon, nope, exists on LP, but the LP is readily available. They must have made an absolute million copies of these things. It's also with Metalworks, it's a co-release, and yeah, it's good, it's fine, it's just not groundbreaking. The follow-up album from this, the name escapes me, is improved. The band just sort of got a bit more tighter and a bit more of their own ideas, I think. But yeah, this is no slouch. It's just solid thrash that's a bit less inspiring than some of its peers. So there you go. That's Virus with Force Recon. This though is the other side of the equation. Holy shit! This is Atrophy, Socialized Hate. This is thrash that should be way up there. Like, this is absolutely top tier stuff. I had heard it in the past, and I never got the CD. Not sure why. So about 15 years ago, I started getting lots of old thrash that I missed on CD. I picked up things like Zentrix and stuff like that. And I don't know why I never picked up the Atrophy. I've never owned any Atrophy, and yeah, not sure what I was doing with my life. But geez, am I happy to have this now. This is like the American version of Extreme Aggression. This is an absolute belter of an album. It rarely lets up. It is something you can. Somebody says, "What's this thrash metal thing?" You say, "Oh, this is thrash metal right here." You can't mistake it for anything else. It is just straight up thrash metal. Atrophy, Socialized Hate. I love the artwork. It's kind of fun. Evil Clown on Road Racer, which is always nice. I like to find these Roadrunner RC releases. The record sleeve has our Evil Clown lyrics, and yeah, there you go. Socialized Hate by Atrophy. And the next one, and this is a band that more people do talk about, and that is Dark Angel with Darkness Descends. Another in my oops, I should have picked this up a long time ago collection. Wow, this is mentally good thrash metal. It's most well known these days for having Gene Hoglan on drums on this album, and God, he's an absolute powerhouse on this thing. You can feel the bass on that. I don't really know what to say. It is just top quality, fast, ripping thrash. It's obviously American, but it really leans on the the heaviness of some of the German bands. I mean, for 1986, when America had Master of Puppets, but you could go and get Darkness Descends. This thing is far heavier than, say, Master of Puppets. Absolutely amazing stuff. Absolutely amazing. And the title track, Darkness Descends, it starts off with a double kick pattern that would later show up in Metallica's One track. The key moment in One when the double kicks are just going off by themselves. Gene did that on here, on the title track on Darkness Descends. And I'm not too sure what the story is with that, if a certain Mr. Lars Ulrich had heard that pattern and decided to steal it, or if it's just one big coincidence, but there you go. Awesome stuff. Darkness Descends. This is on... Who's it on? Issued under license from Combat. So this edition is the Under One Flag. There you go. Under One Flag release. And it's, perfect condition. Lyrics, and there you go. Darkness Descends. Absolutely fantastic thrash. I'll be playing a lot more of this. Here's one I don't think many people talk about. Another one and done style band. This is Gamicide from Texas, I think. Victims of Science. This is good. This is good, solid thrash. It's got a bit of groove in it. It's a little bit later. I think it's about 90. Oh no, it is 89. My God, it is 89. Okay, it's 80s thrash. It sounded like 91 to me, but maybe they're forward thinking. A little bit of groove in there. It's not ripping fast. It's sort of mid-paced thrash. Some of it gets pretty fast, but it's not what they're overall going for. You can see the cover here, so it gives you an idea of the lyrical content. Some of the track names here: Gutter Rats, Victims of Science, Walking Plague, Chemical Imbalance. Like, you know what it's all about. They're going for that classic thrash of toxicity. Really good. I need a bit more time with it. One of the later ones that I've picked up, so I've only spun it just the once so far, but I really liked what I heard. This is on Wild Rags, and you get the cool photo of the band there, lyrics. See, absolutely mint condition. I don't think the seller had played it, which is always good. And it's black vinyl, but Wild Rags, and has a little emblem thing on the other side. It's a little skull thing. I thought it was really cool. So now, interesting thing about it, and I don't know if this is common to all copies of it or problem with Wild Rags, but when I was playing the record, I've never seen my stylus go left and right like this when it's trying to track. And I looked at it close and I could see all of the grooves going in and out. So this is not forming a perfect circle. The LP itself is a perfect circle. I don't think there's a problem with the centering of the whole. I just don't think the grooves are all lined up. It's really weird. I've never seen anything like it. Plays fine, sounds fine. Don't think it's doing any damage, so whatever. Gamicide, Victims of Science. I think there was a reissue of this and like their demos and things a couple of years ago on FOAD, so definitely worth checking out. And Gamicide, good stuff. This is a pretty rare one. Australian band that nobody ever talks about. Another one and done. One album, Rampage, with Veil of Morn. I just keep looking at that cover art. I freaking love that cover art. It looks like something straight out of the front of a 1972 science fiction novel. I think it's amazing. So good. Aussie thrash band featuring members of Hobbs Angel of Death, and they're playing a not too dissimilar style of early Slayer worship. That's all I can really say. Production's not the greatest. It's pretty muddy. This sounds more demo-like than some of the demos that I've got, which is it doesn't do it any favors, but it's not at all bad. It's just underproduced. Probably didn't help them in the fact that they didn't get another album. But it's a shame because it's just solid, good Australian thrash, and probably 89 again, 88, and yeah, there's the guys there. Really good, really quite rare on a what's this strange label called? Quasi Productions. As far as I know, they did well, according to Discogs, they did this album and what seems to be 2 punk 7-inches, I think it is, and I think that's it. So who knows? Maybe Quasi is just a label made up by the band. I wouldn't have a clue. But I think, what am I looking for? There it is. Cool lyric sheet, silhouette of the cover art. It's just good thrash. Like I said, underproduced and early Slayer worship. Nothing wrong with that. There was a CD reissue a few years ago. I think that's pretty hard to get as well, but probably not as hard to get as the LP. I got very lucky. Found this in a Melbourne record store, who had it for a pretty decent price. So there you go. That's Rampage, Veil of Morn. 2 more to go. We got, this is a big hitter. I was so happy to find this one. Disgrace, Grey Misery. This is definitely one of my favourite Finnish death metal albums. It's not in that top tier of bands that people mention all the time, and it's a real shame because this is an absolute classic as far as I'm concerned. It's got a interesting production. It's kind of thin. It's got it's chock full of Finnish riffs. I mean, it's proper Finnish death metal. It's got lots of fast grindy parts as well. I guess it's closer to being a death grind album than a lot of Finnish bands would be more death doom. This is definitely not. It's more on the death grind. Vocals are somewhere between Demolik and when Bill Steer does his lows on Symphonies of Sickness. Wouldn't be a bad thing to call this the Finnish answer to Symphonies of Sickness, or maybe Necroticism. Maybe what they were going for. But yeah, this is absolutely fantastic. This is on Modern Primitive, original press, made in England, apparently. There you go. Just a nice logo there, song titles, and yeah, just black vinyl, nothing too exciting. But yeah, local seller had it, and it's one of my favourites, so I pushed the boat out a little and did pick it up. Won't say it was exactly cheap, but it wasn't, organ replacing price. So there you go, lyrics sheet. Very cool, very happy to have it. I had the original CD and now I've got the LP, so that's awesome. Disgrace, Grey Misery. And the last one, last but not least, and definitely one of those ones that I never thought I would get to own a copy of this on any format. That is Mega Slaughter, Calls from the Beyond. Just take a look at that fantastic hand-drawn artwork. I think that's fantastic. This is definitely one of those Swedish bands that got lost at the time. They only ever did this album, and I think with hindsight you get a lot more appreciation for what these guys were playing than at the time. They don't sound like Entombed, they don't sound like Dismember. They're from Gothenburg. They don't sound like Dark Tranquility and In Flames. They sound more like Baphomet or Banished. A lot of the American styles. It does have a thick Stockholm sound to it, even though they're from Gothenburg, but with an American sort of songwriting, I guess. Really, really good. I've played this one a few times since I've got it. The original on Thrash Records. Thrash were a great label. They did stuff like Carbonized, Epitaph, Excruciate, Womb Bath, lots of really good bands. Lots of bands that are not considered top of the hierarchy. Womb Bath, they're not considered top, but they should be, because I think Womb Bath are great. But anyway, Mega Slaughter are great. I love the back, it's just so plain, and the fuck off to Lisa, negative bitch. I thought that was pretty funny. Oh yeah, and blue balls and all poses. Yeah, these guys were just kids. Negative Bitch, I think, is the name of the demo, so there's probably some kind of joke in there. But yeah, you're not really looking at much there, are you? So yeah, really, really good. Underappreciated Swedish death metal that does not sound at all Swedish. And yeah, just black vinyl on Thrash Records. And yeah, I am not going to re-sleeve that on camera. Is not what I'm going to do. So there you go. Mega Slaughter. That's it. That's the update. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching. And I will see you all next time.